Alright, some of y'all have been enjoying the videos that I've been talking about narcissism and narcissists from a spiritual perspective, from my personal spiritual perspective. So if you're not spiritual, you probably will not resonate with this message, and that's completely fine. But the way I operate is from a spiritual lens. So the topic that I wanted to talk about is the smear campaign, right? If you had an interaction with a narcissist, right, and you rubbed their ego the wrong way, you most likely were the victim of a smear campaign, because there is demonic spirits operating inside of that person's mind that's messing with them, that is encouraging them to create lies and delusions because they need to get energy from people. Let me explain. The narcissist does not like being exposed. The narcissist does not like being held accountable. They want to continue wearing on the mask in the world, and if you take a scissors and you cut that mask off of them, they will go into freak out mode, right? And if something happened between you and the narcissist, because they no longer have access to your energy, they've got to harvest that energy outside of them. And what do? They'll tell people stories about you. They'll make lies about you to make it look like you were the wrong person in the situation, that you did them wrong. And they fail to mention a lot of details in their stories. Their story is going to be fabricated, so it makes them look like the victim and you are the crazy one. The narcissist truly is a toddler. It's a little child operating inside of the person, right? It's the trauma. Look at the previous videos that I have explained from my perspective on how that whole thing works, right? And so they need validation outside of them, and because they're no longer receiving the validation from the person that they've been trying to put the mask on in front of, they've got to go around outside of them in order to feed that energy and feed that little inner child, because they don't have the tools to feed their own inner child. They've got to outsource that to people outside of them. The demonic spirit that's operating inside of them does not allow them to see anything past their own ass, okay? What I mean by that is everything is all about them. They can't understand how their actions, their words, their behaviors can hurt somebody, and the person that they hurt can have a reaction to that. No, it is all about them. That demonic spirit makes it all about them, which is why they've got to find people, make up lies to feed their ego, so they know I'm okay, I'm the right one, I was in the right. So when you're dealing with someone that has narcissist traits or narcissistic tendencies, you're really in a war with that spirit that's operating in them. And a lot of these narcissists, like, they need an exorcism. Seriously. They need they need God. They need Jesus, okay? Because the world that they're operating in is a delusion, right? It's a delusion. And a lot of these are very people you would have never, ever, ever expected to act that way, because they do a very good job at putting a mask on in the world. But as an empath, if you are an empath, like, you see behind those lies, and you are like the narcissist's number one enemy, right? That demon knows the light inside of you, and that light irritates them, and that's why it causes them to act crazy. I'll talk more about this later, but stay strong, keep your armor on. If you got to deal with a narcissist spirit, ask God to help you. I love you all.